Hey, you're watching the Houston Rockets Fan Show on Fan Media Network. Hey, my name is A.B. Bhakta. With me today, my longtime friend, good buddy, and diehard Rockets fan, unfortunately for him right now, Parth Vyas. Parth, how are you, man?
Die-hard is probably the best way to describe it. But I'm good, man. All things considered, I'm good. Thank you for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
For sure, man. So Parth has been a Rockets fan for as long as I can remember. Similar to me, his fandom for professional sports team ranges. And I love that he's a Rockets fan. We have talked about the Rockets many times in the past, just on the daily when we were in high school. And now, Parth, we look at this team, let's get right into it. We have never seen them, at least since we've been friends, lose 16 games in a row, 16 consecutive losses the Houston Rockets have gone through. First and foremost, your reaction to that?
Yeah, man, it's deflating. To use a word that we were talking before we started recording, it's deflating because the second you just said just now, the 16 games in a row we lost. I think back to, and I don't know if you know the number off the top of your head, but when we had that huge winning streak, I think it was with T-Mac and Yao, we had that massive winning streak, and now it's just done this 180 where you think we have guys, we have John Wall, we have Victor Oladipo, Christian Wood obviously has been a little injured, but, it looks like we had some real hope coming off of the Harden trade, and obviously pre-All-Star break, and I thought things would maybe change post-All-Star break with a little, okay, this is a fresh start, we got some fresh legs, but that's just continued going together. So it's hard to be a fan right now, to be honest with you, but I'm trying to cling to as much hope as I can find.
Hope, that key word that you're using there, Parth, hope. And when I think of the Rockets and hope during, let's go back the last 10 years or so when James Harden became a Rocket, and in that 2017-2018 season, he was the MVP. He was playing lights out, right? There was one player, one addition to that team, Chris Paul, who came in. Yeah. And when Chris Paul became a member of the Houston Rockets, that's when I saw in Houston, living there at the time, that's when I saw the most buzz for the Rockets in the last 10 years or so when it comes to championship hopes. Now, of course, Chris Paul's gone. He's been gone for a while. James Harden gone now too. Where do you think the Rockets lie when it comes to those championship hopes for the future?
Yeah, it's so hard to even think about something like that. I'll be honest with you. You go back to, like you said, that 2017 season when we were at our peak. I have the roster pulled up. I'm looking at players. It's forget for a second Harden, Chris Paul, I had Clint Capella at the time. I'm looking at, we had some depth. We had Trevor Ariza, Gerald Green, 45 tatted on him, and he had Houston loud and proud where he would just drain shots from just in the most clutch moments. That was really our peak, and now to get that close to almost beating Golden State in the Western Conference Finals, right? Being like this close, and to now where we've got. So it definitely sucks. It's hard, but looking at championship moving forward, to answer your question, right? It's got to be 5+ years, right? We got so much draft capital back. I think it was a weird graph, right? Because we gave up a lot of draft picks for Chris Paul, and then we gave up even more for for Westbrook, right? And now we seem to have gotten many of them back. I feel like I'm really fuzzy on the details. I'll be honest with you, but it seems like we have reinvested a lot into our future. So for me, championship hopes are going to lie on, let's salvage what we can from this season, right? Let's see where we can end up in terms of, is it better to tank? I don't know, right? It's because all of those details with the picks, right?
Is tanking not happening right now? Is that not what we're seeing?
I don't know. I wish I could go into, because we've had so much management turnover, right? Who knows what's in the minds of the front office now, right? We always seem to have Fertitta up there, but now we have a new coach, we have a new GM, right? They have a vision for what we want to go to. Do we want to continue to tank? Do we want to try to get as many picks? But I think a lot of it, Ankil, in terms of championship status, contending, right? It's going to come with what we can get from those draft picks and who we can retain. I know there was buzz about trading Victor Oladipo to Golden State. That's kind of died off. I don't know if that's going to, those talks are going to re-engage. who's going to be our core? I think we're trying to build around Christian Wood, which, man, if this resurgence can be permanent, I'm excited. If John Wall can get back to form a little bit, that's exciting. But it's really I feel like the pieces have not become in place yet, and the dust hasn't settled. So it's definitely 5+ years out, man. I think from terms of championship, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you there. There's going to be a huge rebuilding process here when it comes to the Houston Rockets and their hopes for winning a title. About John Wall, Parth. John Wall, if he does end up playing better, if he progresses to the John Wall we knew with the Wizards, let's say, or at least a glimpse of that, do you see him staying as a Rocket, as a member of the team, or could he be used in a trade to acquire some more talent or even draft picks for the future?
Yeah, great question, right? Obviously, so me personally, I love the explosive type of player that John Wall is, or, you used to be, and I think still has the potential to be. Like, I love him. I love the Kemba Walkers, right? Those kinds of really explosive players, because it's such a nice change of pace from, shooting threes till we can't shoot no more. So having a different style of play, like the really athleticism, I think he has a really good opportunity here because he's a little older, right? I think he's a really good opportunity to be a really core piece to really try to, for him, right, from his perspective, okay, I can become get back to form as much as I can, but also be this kind of mentor for some of these younger people that we can acquire either through the draft or, like you said, maybe some trades, right? Mm-hmm. Kevin Porter Jr., right, really coming up, really, we can try to build around him. We can see how that all meshes together. I was a little concerned about his, off the court kind of troubles, but it seems like he's kind of quelled those, at least for the time being, and he's producing. So if he can be that kind of veteran talent, but also perform at that level that he wants to perform, I think he could be a really good core member of the team moving forward.
Yeah, and whenever everything just kind of unraveled when it came to James Harden earlier this year, he requesting that trade was huge. But I think from what I saw with Rockets fans, they were expecting this and they were not seeing the James Harden of old. What were your thoughts? What was going around with you in H-Town and amongst your peers, your friends, just fellow Houston Rockets fans when James Harden was traded? Was it kind of a relief? Was it a weight off the shoulders as a fan, or was it something that, man, I wish the situation was different? What was going on?
Definitely more of the first one. It was definitely more cathartic. Obviously, I wish it would have worked out. Like he's a great talent. He's doing great things in Brooklyn. I was definitely had some choice words from yeah, good riddance. Yeah, I'll see you later. You don't want to be here. We don't want you here. Like, I team above else. Like that's always in my kind of perspective, right? But seeing the disappointment year and over again. And I can see the frustration from him, right? Like, I see, he's trying to win. He wants to get somewhere. He doesn't want to be first round exits consistently, second round exits consistently, right? He wants to win. We obviously want to win. But, I was getting – it became so predictable, Akil. It became so predictable what was going to happen to us. We were good in the regular season, not good playoff time. It just became this really, really disappointing pattern. And when he was traded, it was borderline cathartic. I was like, wow, there's – something different is going to happen. Yes, it's a huge risk. Yes, we're putting a lot of faith on people who Victor Oladipo, who quadriceps, I think. Don't quote me on that. Huge, really bad tear, right? John Wall damn near stayed out for 2 years, right? We're putting a lot of risk in these people, and these players are trying to get back to form, right? Who have been coming from devastating injuries. But it was a risk that I was let's take it, because this is getting to be so ridiculous year in and year out, the same old. And if he doesn't want to be here, fine. Let's move him out. Let's like I said, get back some of our future, and let's give some of these guys second chances to try to get back to what they can do. And then if this works out, this could work out. Obviously, Boogie didn't really didn't pan out, but that's fine. That wasn't the type of ball we're trying to play. But we're moving towards something new and exciting, and it's nice, at least from that perspective, to go to a different type of, we're just rebuilding from ground up, coaching, players, everything. And it's exciting to kind of see that. Not right now, the 16 games, a lot sucks, but it's exciting to kind of look at when you're moving forward in the future.
When you say coaching, man, when the Houston Rockets, when Mike D'Antoni was gone, You were, I think, one of the most excited texts I had received from you throughout our friendship was like, he's gone, he's out.
Yes.
He was, you were looking forward to a change, and I think that's really when the Rockets were prepared to start over and really get this process going, because to get back to the days that you mentioned of T-Mac and Yao Ming, and even going back a little further with Hakeem Olajuwon, Moses Malone, like that's the Rockets. Those are the Rockets teams that fans want to remember. But for fans our age, if you're a Rockets fan around our age, in your 20s and 30s, then that's way in the past, right? We don't really remember that as clearly as we do now. And that's what's going to hurt, I think, for a lot of Rockets fans, is waiting, like you said, maybe 5 years until a championship comes around. It's that waiting period once again. I think that's one of the toughest things as a sports fan to try to figure out, to try to wrap your head around, is you tried this process, you see your team trying this rebuilding process and it fails. And then they're having to start over again. And it's just that hope, that word you said early on, man. It's that hope that I think fans have to hold on to. Parth, you being a Rockets fan, wish you the best of luck, buddy. I mean, it's gonna be a run.
I need it.
It's gonna be a
we
run.
need it.
Yeah, for sure. 16 consecutive losses. That better turn around really quick.
I'm wearing black for a reason, Uncle. I'm mourning.
Hey,
right now.
Me too.
You're looking fresh. Hey, let me just point out for a second. You're looking fresh. The gear you have on, I'd love to know what that is. Like,
dude,
the hat you got on, you're styling right now.
Yeah, it's Hugo Boss, the latest NBA collection. They got some rock here too. We might have to get you something soon. Yeah.
Hey, I'm open. Okay, look. I'll always rep loud and proud as hard as it gets. I'll always rep the Rockets as much as I can, especially if it's Hugo Boss. That's awesome.
Sure. For sure. All right, Parth. Well, hey, great having you on, man. Appreciate you taking the time. We'll have you on in future episodes of the Houston Rockets Fan Show right here on Fan Media Network. Parth, thanks again, man.
I appreciate you, Uncle. Thank you so much.
All right, see you soon.
To host a fan show or appear as a fan on a fan show, simply create a profile on Fan Media's iOS app or website. Select your teams and make a short intro video on your phone. Show hosts, reporters, former players, and superfans can use our Get Verified feature and make an intro video as well, and our mobile newsroom staff will reach out.